What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast, where we bring you news you can use. And this time, it's an entertainment edition. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend and fellow newscaster.
This is Eric.
And Eric, we got some news for him today. We've got some entertainment news, but my friend, I want to start off this first story with a little nostalgia. We like nostalgia.
We do.
Do you remember a place called Blockbuster?
I recall a small business by the name of Blockbuster. I don't know how many locations it has. It brings back such memories.
I believe that we actually reported that there was only one
left.
I think still in existence and here in the United States, and that is Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska. Small town Alaska still has the last Blockbuster. The next to last was in Wisconsin,
I believe.
Yeah,
yes.
Wisconsin. And it's since closed down.
So, my friend, there is actually going to be one more Blockbuster out there in this world for 2 days only, come September 17th.
A 2-day business.
A 2-day business.
Okay.
For 2 days, as part of a promotion for Deadpool 2 coming out in the UK on digital download, there will be a Blockbuster filled with nothing but limited edition VHS copies that'll actually have a download code for Deadpool 2, but VHS copies of Deadpool 2 all on the shelves, and they're giving away 1,989 copies of Deadpool 2 in honor of the fact that Blockbuster was founded in 1989. Who knows? This has nothing to do with Blockbuster or with Deadpool 2. I don't know what even the connection is, but they've been doing some very wacky, almost promotions for this.
Well, Deadpool 2. Deadpool, I mean, it's a series. It's all about just having fun. So why not? I guess you don't need a reason. And that's pretty cool. So they're going to be on. Is the actual movie going to be on the VHS tape also?
I don't know. No, they are going to be the old little containers.
Okay.
But inside will be
a digital download copy.
A digital download.
Because I was thinking they stopped making VHS tapes. Sony stopped making. I think they're one of the last ones that made them. Back, I don't know.
This just in, they are going to be Betamax. No, I'm just kidding. It's not
Betamax. What? I remember when they stopped making VHS tapes. My dad asked me to go to the store and buy a VHS tape so he could copy something from one tape to another. And I went to Walmart, and it was really hard. They were like on the bottom shelf. They were in there. They were the high def VHS tapes, and they were expensive. They were like 4 for like $20. Right. They were not cheap for like what you think of a VHS tape. Right. And so I took those back to my dad, and I was like, here you go. He might still have them because he still watches VHS tapes because that's what his entire movie collection was in. Right. And so I was thinking if they actually had actual VHS tapes,
that would be awesome.
About 2,000 of them. That would be impressive that they were able to find that many.
And not only that, but also take the time to put the movie on there.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could find a VCR or something to...
Right, from an old pawn shop or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can find one to make 2,000. You could find a copier that can make 2,000. Right. Those still exist.
But this will be done in Shoreditch, England.
Man, that's pretty cool. I'm not like a huge Deadpool fan. I like Deadpool. I still haven't seen Deadpool 2.
But here's the other fun thing. If you can find your old Blockbuster membership card, you'll get to queue jump, meaning you'll get to go up closer to the front of the line and get your copy.
So if you're George Costanza, who has this big wallet,
yes.
Remember that? If you don't know who that is, that's off of a movie called Friends.
You're doing great, buddy.
You're doing great. Seinfeld, George Costanza, he had this big wallet that had everything in it.
You remember when it exploded?
Yeah,
that was a great episode.
That's a good episode. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you can find your old Blockbuster, I might have an old Blockbuster card. It's just one of those things you throw in a drawer.
You know what's great is my dad. Speaking of George Costanza, so my dad basically does that. Where, and if you're hearing the clip clopping in the background, that is my dog. But my dad does that, and he was cleaning out his wallet recently.
Oh yeah, what did he find?
Found his Blockbuster card.
Are you serious? Did he throw it away?
He did throw it away, but he still had it in his wallet.
Goodness.
He still had a Blockbuster card in his wallet. And the best part is apparently from this article, they're saying that the company officially shut down in 2013.
Blockbuster did. Corporate
did.
Yeah.
And so this is, I don't understand I love it, but I don't understand the connection. I do love that they're honoring the founding of Blockbuster, celebrating the founding of Blockbuster in 1989 by offering 1,989 copies. But
why?
I don't know. This is
the mystery of it all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Deadpool's all about nostalgia. I mean, that's the character. Talks about nostalgic 80s and 90s references quite a bit, obviously. I probably don't even catch them all when I watch the first movie. But yeah, that's really cool, though. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great gimmicky meme-like thing to do a promotion on. It's weird that they're doing it in England that way. The only reason I think they wouldn't do it here is because of the Alaskan store already is still open.
Right.
And there might be some legal jargon issue about with doing it in the U.S. with that one store still being around.
But, I mean, Deadpool has done for promotion deals, they have done some weird things. Like basically, one of the deals I saw, and I don't know if I watched it with you or someone else, but it may have been with Casey, but they were doing like an old showbiz band, and it was him. They would do it at Comic Cons, but it was like an animatronic Deadpool, dancing and singing with this old showbiz band. It even had the little monkey on the drums, and
so like what you would see at what's that place? Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
Were they all animatronic?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I get you.
And so I mean, and they even did a commercial for it as like a world tour type thing, and all that stuff. So I mean, they've done some bizarre, like almost nostalgic type things as a way to promote
100%. Someone our age is running that promotion program along with.
You think so?
I mean, because they do like that's 100% Chuck E. Cheese. And I was talking to someone just like this past week about the old animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese. My son was talking to my 11-year-old son. He was talking about. He goes, when you were a kid, you had the Chuck E. Cheese with the full band that was animatronic, or he called them robots. Mm-hmm. And of course, he knows about it because of Five Nights at Freddy's and that realm. And
did he ever ask if anybody ever got really murdered?
No.
Like, did you? He's
not an
ever
idiot.
Get chased? No.
No,
Okay.
I was kidding. He's sometimes an idiot.
Okay.
But on this, he wasn't. He likes watching like old stuff, like stuff about origins, like probably where Five Nights at Freddy got their kind of like design from, and is probably where he got it from. But yeah, and he asked me, he's like, so you had Chuck E. Cheese's when you were a kid? I was like, yeah, they have the seizure room, which is the room with the strobe light going on. Which my brother, who has seizures, had a seizure in that room. And just, yeah, they had all that stuff. Just that crazy, weird, like, just that your kids run loose. Now it's all like video games. There's like one climbing thing. We go to it occasionally.
Okay.
So it's not near what it was.
I mean, but I do think, I'm with you. I think this is honestly a brilliant, just advertising thing. It's so that's the deal, and I can understand it from the aspect of Deadpool being kind of bizarre and out of left field. This ad campaign is kind of bizarre and out of left field.
Yeah.
Let's bring back an old Blockbuster.
I think it's fantastic. I've seen so many memes about Blockbuster. They're great. Like a guy picked up an old Blockbuster card he found on the street, and he's like I'm an archaeologist discovering the past. You know, I was like, that was great. It's a great little meme. There's just some funny stuff like that. It's always good when you can do that things. I like it. We got anything else,
buddy? I got another thing. Your good friend Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I talked to him like 2 weeks ago. Me and Bert went out, we got slam drunk out in Miami.
Let me ask you a question. Have you talked to him recently?
No. We go on little spurts, but we don't talk to each other for a couple months. It's okay.
But you might reach out. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't want to seem needy.
He might be a little needy of life right now.
What do you mean?
He needs a little bit of excitement in his life.
He's the bandit. He has all the excitement he needs.
He is now running cars and things like that in heaven, my friend.
Burt Reynolds is dead?
Burt Reynolds passed away at the age of 82 just this past week.
Man, what a wuss.
What a wuss.
I mean, we were just talking. He said he could hold his own. I drank him under the table. Gosh.
You think that's what killed him?
I hope that's what killed him.
Did you kill an 82-year-old man? No, I mean, do you know much about old, you're right, he is the bandit.
Yeah.
But I mean, what were your thoughts on old Burt Reynolds? I mean,
I liked when they portrayed him on Saturday Night Live, on the Jeopardy shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was great. I mean, he was an icon classic in the 80s for sure.
He was.
Let's go through it. Do you have IMDb? Pull up his repertoire from our time, the 80s and early 90s. I don't know what was the last thing he was in. He wasn't my favorite. No, I like Tom Selleck a bit more for talking about mustaches. But I liked him. He was good. I mean, not my favorite actor, but definitely an icon. Definitely fun stuff. Interesting, sometimes cheeky movies.
He had some good movies. I was a fan of The Bandit.
Yeah.
I was also a fan of The Longest Yard. I thought that was a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. The original.
The original.
Was he quarterback in the original?
He was the quarterback in the original, and he did show up in the remake.
Oh, the remake with
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, yeah.
We don't really talk about that much.
I think I saw that one.
I mean, he has a very very storied history of movies, and you were wanting to focus on the 80s and 90s?
Most, yeah, definitely, like especially mid 80s, because that's one of my memories would be most like starting like Tom Selleck was around.
Well, let's see. Or Tom Selleck, you mean
Burt
Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds,
I mean, they're interchangeable. To a lot of people, sadly, they are.
When I was a kid, yes, they were. I thought they were the same person for years.
Let's see. He was in a movie. Well, he was on Golden Girls.
I loved Golden Girls.
He played himself as himself. He was in a movie called Heat in 1986.
Okay.
He was in Boogie Nights. Let's see.
Really?
I'm getting back there. I accidentally hit a button and it took me to all over the place.
Okay.
Let's see. Did you ever watch a show called Evening Shade? By the way, do you remember Evening Shade?
I remember Evening Shade. I didn't watch it, but I kind of remember a little bit.
It was. I don't remember what channel it was on, but it was the answer to Coach. Basically, it was them trying to do Coach, but with.
Reynolds?
Yeah, you remember Coach?
Oh yeah, watched Coach just the other day.
Coach was a great
fantastic.
show.
Had Van Dyke.
Did have Van Dyke. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Which character was he?
He was the main character. He was
him?
Charlie B. Barkin.
Charlie B.
Charlie B. Barkin. Look, if you can't just say Charlie B. It's Charlie B. Barkin. You got to say his full name.
You got to be respectful.
You got to be respectful. He was on. He apparently played himself again on Beverly Hills 90210. He was on the Larry Sanders Show. He was
Not a fan of the Larry Sanders
Cop
Show.
and a Half.
Don't remember that.
I remember that movie. It was terrible. Evening Shade, like I mentioned. Man, he was an Amazing Grace. It was actually a Christian movie.
I'm sorry. We still talking about Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I watched a movie not too long ago in one of my classes with old Burt Reynolds in it. Let me see if I can find that on here. But
what was it about?
He played a Jewish man, which Burt Reynolds playing a Jewish man was. He put on this thick accent that was just
like
was
what?
Amazing.
Like was he trying to play a Jewish man from Israel? Like what? Like maybe New York?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
New York Jewish.
That's where he was supposed to be from. He gets robbed by this
Kevin Sorbo.
This child.
Oh.
He gets a gun pulled on him. He gets shot. The mom comes back. She's a cab driver. She comes back and gets him. And they take this long road trip together. Where he basically, I don't know, finds God and forgives himself and her. He helps the family heal.
And he was really going to heaven.
Yes.
Is that right?
No.
Oh, I was like, and he's really like, it's a trip to heaven, and
he was on My Name Is Earl.
Oh, that show looked kind of funny, but I never watched it.
He was on Duck Dodgers, the TV series. I can't find this movie.
He's so embarrassed he wouldn't put it on his IMDb.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. I mean, he was a voice in Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I didn't play that game.
I didn't either. Let's see here. I mean, he has quite a bit here. Just a lot of movies I've never heard of, to be honest with you. But well, he did a lot of movies, TV movies called Hard Time.
I don't know what that even means.
There were two of them. I'm guessing it's a
jail, prison.
I'm guessing it's a pun on prison since he plays a detective.
Oh, okay. Well, and he was in prison.
He was in Universal Soldier.
Universal
2 and 3.
The sequels.
The sequels.
The better of the Universal Soldier movies.
He played a character called Mentor.
What was the last thing he was in? What's his most current and what year is it?
His last appearance, well, is actually coming up. It's called Defining Moments in 2018. Before that, he was in a movie called Shadow Fighter.
Hold on. Shadow Fighter. Sounds like someone's trying to take a page out of a book I've read. Where someone punches spectral beings from the afterlife.
Well, but that's
I think
this is Shadows.
Yes.
Those are completely different.
Okay.
Let's see. Shangri-La Suites, Hollow Creek. I mean, he's Archer. He was in an episode of Archer, I guess.
Okay.
Where he played himself.
All right, that's enough. I mean, apparently he was still working, which I am a bit surprised.
That's not enough, sir, because I'm still looking for this.
You look for your movie.
Okay, you talk about the man himself.
Burt Reynolds. I always got him confused with Tom Selleck.
Well, apparently, because you did that
already.
Yeah, I was going to say, not always. You still do.
I still do. Apparently, it's the mustache.
It is.
And I was a little kid when they were both out,
and now you're an adult. No, I do the same thing. I'll be honest. There seem to be, I want to say in like every generation, there's like interchangeable actors.
Characters.
I did. Yeah. Well, no, like Selleck and Reynolds, they looked similar.
Yeah.
But you also I always did that with Russell and Swayze.
Kurt Russell and Patrick Swayze.
Yes. They had a similar back in the day. They kind of.
I can see that because they have like very similar movie styles.
They had very similar movie styles. Had very similar like hairstyles back in the day.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I mean, there was. I had that problem, but yeah, I can understand getting Burt Reynolds mixed
Kurt
up.
Russell and Patrick Swayze, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that for sure. You know, I always feel dumb when I make that mistake. because people are so quick to jump on when someone makes a mistake. But I know other people have made that mistake too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not the only one.
Clearly.
But, another movie he was big for was Deliverance.
Oh, okay.
That was another movie.
I know that movie. I've never watched that movie.
I've never seen it either, but it's a very famous movie.
I remember lines from that movie that, the squealing pig stuff and all that.
Yes.
I knew that like when that came out or around that time. And since like when I was in school, people would reference it.
Right.
Because, growing up in the country, it's classy. It means you're sophisticated when you're referencing Deliverance and its immoral scenes.
That's very, very true. Very true. I don't know. I mean, that's something that Hollywood lost an icon, and it apparently, from what stuff that's come out, I mean, he had a hard childhood.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about him as a kid and where he came from.
I don't know that much. A lot of this stuff apparently is just coming out. I mean, he kept everything pretty close to.
I mean, well, okay, so he was 82.
Yes.
And so he was born in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'm just trying to picture like his life, like, because he's a little bit young. He was a little bit younger than my dad. So I was just trying to kind of picture what era he grew up in, and I mean, obviously his parents probably went through the Depression, and I don't really know much more, but I'm speculating. That's it.
Well, and I mean, he was an icon. He was somebody, there for a while that, I mean, apparently he touched a lot of lives. A lot of people have come out and said that he did a lot for their careers in Hollywood and that sort of thing, which it's kind of cool when you hear that kind of thing and you see somebody that's, just he apparently really did a lot to help out other people.
That's awesome. I always wonder like what degree they actually helped. I mean, no one wants to speak ill of the dead, typically. So I always wonder kind of like to what extent is someone saying that? Are they sincere, or they're like, I want to jump on this bandwagon? Like he really talked to that person one time, but they're like, he was super influential, and all that. I always wondered the legitimacy of some of those claims. I mean, that's just my personal curiosity.
Well, and that's I agree. I mean that you do wonder those kind of things.
Yeah, just Hollywood seems a bit vapid and fake. So,
yeah.
But I mean, he could have been the best guy ever. I have no idea. I don't know the man, or didn't know the man outside of our drinking days.
That's very true.
And
he apparently didn't share anything with you.
I had to buy all my own drinks. Cheap guy.
Okay. One final thing that I wanted to talk about here.
What's that?
A little story that I have come across, that I think that you're going to be very excited about. You know that there is a couple of Joker movies coming up.
Yeah, competing.
Yes, we've talked about this.
Different actors.
Yeah, the Joaquin Phoenix one.
Yeah.
Well, Alec Baldwin was on board set to play the father of Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Okay.
But
the Joaquin Phoenix one?
In the Joaquin Phoenix one.
Okay.
He was going to play Thomas Wayne. However, he has now left the movie. And the reason I bring this up is, why do you think, what could be the possible reason for having Thomas Wayne in this movie? Because, I mean, yes, in the old
there's an
the first Batman, there was, you remember, he actually the Joker ends up, he's the one that kills. Yeah. It's not Joe Chill, who in the comics and everywhere else, but it's this guy that becomes the Joker is the one. But what do you think is the purpose of having Thomas Wayne in this movie? This is more of a speculation thing. I mean,
so
I find it very interesting.
He was going to be Thomas Wayne,
right?
he's not going to do it anymore. And we're talking about why would Thomas Wayne need to be in this movie?
Yes.
As more of a prominent actor versus some sort of like
right.
throwaway actor, which you could just shoot off and be done
right
with.
And be done with.
So someone who actually had more speaking lines. Well, there's an alternate timeline where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. That's one.
Yeah, but
I'm sure it's not that.
In that timeline, though, the mom
is
the Joker.
Is Joker, yeah.
Which is a fascinating idea.
I think that's great. I would have to go with... Oh, and they become that way because Bruce gets killed.
Yes.
Okay, that's how that happens.
It's the opposite. Bruce ends up
being killed. She goes crazy and he becomes hyper justice. Right. Like dark justice. Right. Very good, though. I would have to say, why would you need in this? I'm assuming, was this going to be a canon movie? I'm going to guess no, if that's the case.
I'm not thinking so.
Thomas and Bruce are brothers. Not Thomas, but Joker and Bruce are brothers, and Thomas is the father of both of them.
Oh, that'd be actually.
It's like his mistress.
That would be an intriguing turn of events.
So
that's actually a great storyline. That would bring so much more to the Joker mythos.
Yeah, it's like from a mistress or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But what do you think? What's the going on?
I don't know. I mean, that's...
Oh, you were literally just asking.
I was literally just wondering what your speculation might be.
I think it's too cliche to make them brothers, but something with, like, he portrayed the Joker's original, like, father. You know, like, creating, like, a family rivalry versus just this justice versus chaos.
Right.
Kind of.
Well, but, I mean, the Joker is... Normally, in the comic books, he's depicted... the way he is because Batman is the one that knocked him in the vat of acid.
Yeah.
But according to one of his origin stories. But I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting idea of what he would, what the role of the character would be in all of this. I don't know. I was more interested I like your idea of them being brothers. Like it's his half brother.
Half brother, yeah. That'd be cool. I mean,
it would be a different take on it. I think it. Yes, in some instances it would be cliched, but no, as far as the Joker and the Batman story goes, I don't know that it's ever been done, and I think it'd be interesting for that aspect of things.
That would be a good one for when Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, because you could have the mistress kill Bruce, causing the wife to go crazy because she finds out everything, and then she takes on, because like the mistress goes to jail or gets killed, she takes the other son and crazy and raises him. That'd be cool, interesting.
And maybe in some way, maybe that's what they're doing, because there's been talks about them doing a Flashpoint movie.
Okay.
And which is what that whole timeline thing with Thomas was out of.
Yeah.
And so maybe they are doing two Joker movies. It's like, well, here's what's happening in this timeline, but here's the Joker from the put his hand above his...
I've never seen that movie.
I honestly have never seen...
I know you're talking about it.
I haven't seen the Suicide Squad movie.
I haven't seen that either.
I have seen the deal with him putting his hand in front of his mouth. But that's... I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Honestly, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they are setting up two different timelines. Could be interesting. Could be. Yeah. Could be. I still do find it weird that they're having two different Jokers, and
that would be cool if it was they actually intersect those timelines through like a flashpoint. That would be pretty interesting, like a different timeline where a different person's Batman.
Right.
That'd be interesting.
It would be interesting.
And like for some reason they're in the same movie though. Like
something brings them together.
That'd be pretty weird.
It would be.
But I don't think they would do it because is it the same studio?
No, it's WB.
Yeah. Okay.
Both of them are Warner Brothers. I mean, they did do something interesting in the comic books recently that I was reading about. It's called The Dark Knight Metal, where they brought in all of these, like the bad guys for this were all these dark versions of Batman.
Oh, okay, cool.
From the dark multiverse.
Okay.
And so you have a Batman that was basically a Joker type. It
was like chaotic.
Yeah, it was chaotic. And then you had a guy that was he put on the like I guess during a battle, but he put on the helmet of the God of War, and he became just a conqueror.
Oh, okay.
You have one that was the Flash, one that was
the one that put
Aquaman.
on a mask. Was it a mask or a helmet?
It was a helmet.
Does he have magical powers then?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I didn't read.
There's a helmet, Dr.
Fate.
Fate.
It's not
Fate.
It's not Fate.
Okay.
This is the God of War from that Wonder Woman fights.
The God of War that Wonder Woman fights.
Yeah,
okay,
which is basically the Greek god.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but that's happened in. Like that was in her the Wonder Woman movie, from what I understand.
I haven't seen that either.
Well, but there was also there was also a Wonder Woman animated movie where she fought the God of War, and
I might have seen that one.
Apparently, this is and I didn't know this, but this is apparently a big fight because it's happened more than once. Anyway,
okay.
And he showed up in the Justice League television cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in that a couple times.
Sure, I've seen those. But
I mean, I don't even know where we're going with that. Where were we?
We were talking about the Batmans.
Oh yeah, they did that where it basically was like all of Bruce's fears.
Oh, okay.
That brought forward, and so it was basically one was like Aquaman, one was.
Really?
One had turned himself into like the Superman had gone bad.
Oh, okay.
And so he infected himself with a Doomsday virus, which is like the Doomsday character that killed Batman or killed Superman. He became Doomsday and killed his version of. So I mean, it was just all these different ideas, and one that they're getting ready to introduce is a Bruce Wayne that. A Batman that picked up the gun after his parents were murdered. Because you remember he picked up the gun and he shot Joe Chill.
Oh.
And so he becomes he's basically the way they're describing him as a Punisher.
It sounds like Punisher.
It's a Punisher type.
Okay.
And so I don't know, but they said the difference is that the Punisher was always poor, where Bruce Wayne just has.
Yeah,
billions of dollars to do with whatever he wants.
Make the coolest guns.
Yeah, he'll have the biggest guns, the most ammo.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, there's. I bring all that up and saying there's plenty of ideas out there that they could.
Oh, for the movies.
They could mine and they could do with the multiverse and that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, my friend. Well, we are not the evil multiverse, but why don't you tell them about the good people at Pull Up a Chair?
Well, you can find the Pull Up a Chair podcast in this universe, guys. Yes, it is in the universe you exist in. It is on the internet, and you can find us there. We're on every podcasting app that you can find. Google Podcasting app, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, you name it, we try to be there. You can also find us all over the internet. Facebook, just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. For Twitter, at Pull Up a Chair Pod. We also have our own website, puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website, and you can just find us all over the place. We are currently a nominated.
Oh, Emmy nominated.
A podcast award nominated.
Oh.
Which apparently you can't vote for.
People's Choice?
People's Choice, but the people can't vote unless you're specific people, I found out. It seems like, maybe I misunderstood. It was hard reading through all those rules and understanding them. So, but yeah. And so you've been listening to a nominated podcast. Yes, you are that lucky.
An award-winning nominated podcast.
Hopefully we can say award-winning, but we'll see. All right, Nick.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to listen. You know what? If you have any theories about what Thomas Wayne is going to be doing out there, you know what? Leave us a message. Send us something on Twitter. Tweet at us. Tell us what you think. And we hope that you have yourself a great time.
All right.